No, see.
Polygon Day, you like that shirt?
It's the original MetaMask logo.
What's going on, everyone? Happy Thursday, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'm one of your co-hosts, and today we are coming at you from our studio here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays, but sometimes we stream randomly live shows. Before we get into the content, quick disclaimer: nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. With that being said, I'd like to introduce you to your other co-host, your second of the day, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do deep dives. We also do crypto street interviews here on the Las Vegas Strip. We do deep dives and
which you already said.
videos. Did I say deep dives twice?
You said it twice.
Extra focus on the deep dives.
Extra.
And then we are also active on social media, so make sure you check out all of the links down below. Find out where we're streaming. Speaking of video, let's like this video. We're going to give you approximately 5
Let's
seconds.
give it 5 seconds, yeah.
To hit the like button. There it is. Now, if you're not subscribed yet, do us a favor, subscribe. If you don't like us at the end of the week, you can unsubscribe. The button works both ways. And then notification bell. And introducing our third. And
You're going to introduce the co-host, huh?
Huh?
Are you sure you're going to be able to say his name right?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
There
You
you
go
go.
ahead. You're the man of introductions.
Yeah, Robin's not our... I still
butcher
don't know
names and-
why. I still don't know why Robin does roll call, because he can't for the life of him pronounce anyone's name right. So today we are joined by a third co-host, a very special guest in studio, and a lot of his community members are in here. Crypto Lifer is joining us. Crypto Lifer, Sam, say what's up.
All the way, I'm in Las Vegas, baby, all the way from Boston. Thank you so much for having me. This is an amazing experience. The studio is amazing, guys. They're doing a great job.
Hey, man, thanks for coming by. By the way, this was all kickstarted by one of your community members. He goes by Sam Tomlinson on YouTube. I think something crypto, Skrilla Crypto on Twitter. He DM'd us and said, hey, Lifer is out in Vegas, and we know the connections aren't very good. And so we reached out to Lifer, and this is how we kind of got here. So this goes to show you that even through bear markets, bad times, everyone's losing money, we still stick together as a crypto community. So
That's right.
We appreciate you. We appreciate Lifer's community, man. Your people are loud. People are loud.
Yeah,
So
they're coming
savages.
in here,
They're
they're coming in here
savages.
banging the
Yo,
drum,
there's
bro.
the passion, man.
hey,
The passion.
Sin City community, I better see the same energy. Just
Yeah.
we always
Wow,
do.
look at my people. Effin Book, Emery, CNC Ireland, my whole team, man. Love y'all.
That's
All
right.
right,
Robin,
awesome.
it's going to be a long
Gina
roll call
Bump
today.
being in the house.
It is gonna be a long roll call. All right, so let's just get right into it because it's gonna be a minute. Let's get into the roll call. All right. So first up in the chat today, we have. Let's take a quick look here. We got. Was it Jimmy first up in the chat or no? All right, we got APV, Crypto Billy, Sir Babe, R.A. Daniel, Crypto Billy, Moby Sage. We got Fing Book, Blue, Punk Rock, Bro Yoshi, R.A. Daniel, JD. Who else we got? Love Learning, Sean Burns Jr., R.A. Daniel, already said that. And then Moby Sage, JD, Natasha, Raul, San Miguel, and then Moby Sage. I think Timmy, Noel, and then who else? We got Benson.
You see that guy? One guy, his name's F. I thought it was Fing Book, but he said his dad said, "Go read an effing book." So I thought it was hilarious. So, I don't like swearing, but I thought that was great. So he's
Cryptoholic Love as well, and then Stereo 2 up in here as well. CC, and then Kyle M's up in here. Crypto Muscle, and then we got Jimmy, and then. Ace, and then Marky Mark with a $20 super chat right off the rip.
Damn.
What's up, man? And then yeah, I think that kind of rounds out most of it.
He probably missed a bunch of you, so.
Gina, and then yeah, that kind of rounds it out there. Cool. Yeah, if I missed your name, just say what's up, and we'll say hola. And Yazin Breakfast up in here.
D.
And
that's my wife, Crypto Wifer.
Crypto Wifer? Is that really?
Yeah, it's my wife.
That's awesome.
Oh, dang.
Crypto Wifer. Welcome to Sin City
All right,
Crypto.
so Crypto Wifer and everyone else in here that's new. Too many names to drop one by one. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Go.
Amazing. All
Let's
right.
get it going.
Obviously, we're going to go over some charts today, but the first thing I want to share with everyone here is something I came across. So real quick, before I share this, Lifer, are you a Cardano fan? Like, do you believe in the project long term?
I met Charles Hawkinson face to face in New York at a summit about 4 or 5 years ago. I bought my first Cardano at 2 cents because of crypto love.
Amazing.
And I've been holding Cardano ever since. And I added at 8 cents. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to hold Cardano till it gets, trillions of dollars of illicit assets out of Africa. So that's my whole thing, yeah.
Well, we got some good news, speaking of Cardano. And so we're looking at, this is the monthly on-chain statistics for the month of September. Native tokens are up 5% to over 6.3 million. Transactions are up close to 5% also, coming in at 51.2 million, 3.6 million wallets, which is up 1.3%. And then the smart contract Plutus scripts are up 7.27% now to 3,380. And then on the left here, you see a little pie chart. Now, Robin, I'll start with you first. What do you say to the people that say, all right, stuff's happening on chain, the numbers are showing it, why is the price not moving? And I'll ask the same question to Lifer next. But Robin, you take
well,
this
it's
one
pretty
first.
simple. Layer ones are community driven, right? I mean, essentially, it's not like a store of value like Bitcoin. So layer ones being community driven, right now, transactions and community is down across the ecosystem. And so you shouldn't be expecting any gigantic rallies in utility and use case at the current moment. I understand that Cardano is making big movements. However, it's not taken over the world yet. It hasn't supplanted some of the legacy finances, and it hasn't replaced the banks yet. I do think that's something that's in the cards and a realistic possibility with a long-term time horizon. But it wasn't just over a year ago. I think a little over a year ago we had the smart contract rollout, and so Cardano is in its infancy, and you are early, and in not only to this space but also to the Cardano ecosystem. And so as they build, you don't build buildings in a week. When you build a skyscraper,
What's the saying?
you have
Rome
to.
wasn't built in a day; it was built in like 3 days.
You build a skyscraper, for example.
days,
You
yeah.
have
Couple
to,
days.
you have to build the foundation, and then you build, you have the iron beams, and then you go floor by floor, and you start from the bottom up, and it's coming. It's starting to look like what it's gonna look like in the future. The throughput is scaling. The transaction speed is significantly better than it was.
There's been upgrades to everything.
So anyways, what I'm saying is that have patience. They're building, and we're in the middle of a bear market. So don't expect all of a sudden to have everyone in the world's plugging into a layer one network and using it. We're still in the early days of cryptocurrency. That's where my thought is. However, those metrics, those numbers, they are positive. It shows you that the smaller amount of crypto degens that are in the ecosystem right now, the people, the early adopters, we are using it now, and we're adopting the technology, and the numbers speak for themselves. And it's only going to grow exponentially by a factor of 10, 20, 100 in the future. And so we're early, and I'm excited. And it's all the arrows are pointing in the right direction. So,
Lifer, let me ask you this before. I know you're probably going to show a Cardano chart, but what do you say to the people that are like, hey, this thing is taking too long? Do you point at something like Solana and say, well, would you rather have this? I mean, are they taking too long? Are they being too methodical, or is this something you're happy as an investor of Cardano? And then feel free to show any charts and price action you would like to show.
When you study any person, studying history usually a pretty good basis. If you look at where you've been, you can see where you're going. I always go to history. Like why do I coin? Because of the currencies. Fiat currencies have all disappeared last few hundred years, so it's obvious that the US dollar will, right? So I look at Cardano and I look at what in the past in human history has brought the most value, and it's things that have taken a lot of time to create. A bridge, like they need a bridge to get built. A bridge gets built, the first day it's open, it creates a little bit of commerce, and then they go back and forth. 5-6 years later, the towns on either side really begin to grow. So when you're building a bridge, you're not going to see the cars drive across the bridge immediately. It's just not going to happen. Also, when you have a really, really big plan, it takes a lot longer to establish it. Like, the Japanese, they build cities better, right? Because it took a lot longer to build them. Right. Like, if you do infrastructure if you take a lot longer to think about your infrastructure, yeah. But once it's up and running, you may be able to run for 50 to 100 years. Where these other coins are going to hit roadblocks 20 years from now, you're going to see Cardano speed bumping. So yeah, you may feel like you can't handle the weight now, but they're doing something I believe that's going to change the human race forever. Like, it's not. Also, when I get into an investment, I invest in the person. I got into Canopy Grow Corp because I love Bruce Linton. The second he left the company, you saw that share price stop. I got out. Like, I like to follow people. I've looked at Charles Hoskinson's in the face. I always seem to say his name wrong. And I got to,
don't worry.
He's amazing. Yeah. Like, he's amazing. Like, if you've spent a moment with the man, even if you just watch him, I have passion and belief in what he's doing. He created Ethereum and then decided to leave it to create something even better, in my humble opinion. Some people will probably go crazy for me saying that, but man, just give him some time, give him some space. He also is the only cryptocurrency position in the African markets the way he is. So, and do your research on that.
A couple quick shout outs. We got DJ Porter Rock dropped a $5 super chat, and then we also got JD $10 super chat. He says thanks for helping out, and then we got Nishan's a crypto fan member, 3 months, and Marky Mark dropped a 10 crypto membership gifting as well. Big shout out to the community. And then lastly, we got Jamie dropped €2 on us as well. Ooh, so lots of love coming our way. We got 95 viewers in the chat. Just want to say that if you're new here, when we reach milestones, when we get to 100 viewers, we do what Vegas does best.
It's not 100. It's 125, dude.
It's at 100.
It's not at 100. It's not.
It's 100.
Got 18 months. I had 10 people watching me. 50 people watching me.
Sam, when we say
you just
celebrate
keep grinding.
New milestones, if you've hit 100 multiple times, is that a new milestone?
Wait, you know what? It's only
no. You got to get to the next one. Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay.
No, okay. Should be 125.
But no, but it's about establishing the milestone. So what you'll do is you'll peak. It's when you actually hit 125 and never go lower than 100.
We got to break.
So
you got to break.
You got to hold support. It's when you guys watch your channels, they work just like crypto. You'll hit support and resistance. You'll bounce off.
Boy over here backing me up, man.
As long as you keep pushing, you're gonna hit the next target.
And then we also got we got the super chats rolling in. Crypto Wife for $20.
Wow, Crypto Wife.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy $5 as well. Big shout out. Yeah, and then just so y'all know,
but I didn't know you knew how to use the super chat.
Well, you might be in trouble now.
I know. I'm in the
look into your account. It's like,
I'm already in a hotel. So what you gonna do now? Hey.
Also. Vegas party. That's what happens.
Okay, listen, real quick.
We have a party at the end. Sometime in the mid-show, we'll crank up some music. We do what Vegas does best. Not only a cryptocurrency live TV show, but also we do the club music and dance moves.
Show your mouth. Let me get to this. All right. So one of our community members hates my desk. Okay. He's literally probably donated over $100 to get a new desk, and he wants to know, what are your thoughts on this desk? Would you?
This desk is smooth.
Thank you.
It's a little narrow. All right, I'll give you that. Like, I guess reachable. I mean, how much do you want to like? How much?
He doesn't like the way it looks.
I like this graphite type of sleek sheen, man. Come on.
You hear that, Jimmy?
Goes with my laptop. It's fat.
You hear that, Jimmy? All right, Sam, what's the price action telling us on Cardano? I know you had a chart ready, I believe.
Yeah, I got it here, ready to go. If you want to show me the flip up the screen. So I'm looking at Cardano here. And honestly, everyone, I've been looking at the 3-day chart. Altcoins follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin follows the S&P. All right, for now. Eventually, we will decouple, and we would like to see that. But as long as they keep playing around with the interest rates, and we got Jerome Powell doing his thing, we're gonna see the issues and the correlations. So I've been watching this 3-day chart. Look at the 3-day chart for. I know you asked me about Cardano, but this is like it's gonna kind of lead you into why I believe Cardano may see a big move here. You got this slanted cup and handle. Now they call me Sammy Cup and Handle. I find uptrending cup and handles, slanted ones up down. I find them all different places, and I don't just find them. Like this is also a broadening wedge that's coming down to support. You can see the previous resistance here. If we had broken that, we may have dropped to this area. Many other YouTubers and people had started seeing that, but I believe if we can get a bounce, the 3-day chart is curving. Lack of the curve up here, it just looks ripe. I've seen this many times in my life play out. Also, we got this POC calling our name, which is the liquidity zone, which we're likely to get kind of magnetized towards. So, right, if we flip to the dollar index on the same exact time frame, it's about to tank, right? I mean, am I wrong here? It fell back into a rising wedge after a fake breakout, false, right? Yeah. And as long as it leaves this channel here, we'll be looking for, and that's why I use the 15 and the 1 hour, because you're going to see the bearish retest first on a small time frame, which will confirm what you're looking at on a bigger time frame. Yeah. That's why that's why you don't give up on these big time frames, because other people will see me. Why is he so into the little one? When I look at them all, but the little ones will tell you what's going to happen first. For instance, when you walk 1,000 feet, you walk a first 4 feet first. Yeah. So the 1 hour does something before, and then you can see it bleed on. Let's get into Cardano. Sorry to be long-winded. No, I see Cardano in the same falling wedge here. You see it? Kind of following the same idea. We can also put it in a giant wedge here that it's really consolidating nicely. Yes, somewhat of a descending triangle, right, which gives me a little bit of bad vibes, but it's a 50-50 shot. You're at the very low end of liquidity. Rounded and this 3-day chart looks to me like it's ready to go too as well. There's also a few other big YouTubers that feel like there may be a bottom for Cardano. We triple bottomed here in a way. And so I'd like to see a bounce for Cardano. Measured move would take us to about 54 cents. Yeah.
That's solid.
But we have to get above this POC. And there's obviously some support and resistance on the smaller time frames that we're going to have to deal with, right? 4 hour come down for a bounce here. We cannot break support at 42 cents. I mean, that's we break that, you can see there's going to be a gap. We could possibly wick for a bearish trap, but I'd be worried if I saw us break that.
You see that happening? With over 70% of the coins being staked. Obviously, all the metrics are positives for the month of September. I mean, do you think there's enough sell pressure?
Honestly, to be honest, you can see in the chart the lack of sell pressure, right? Like I always tell everyone, show me the falling volume with falling price. See how the volume's falling to the downside? That means that's where the car is going. I always tell everyone, see down here, this is like gasoline to the car, right? So if the car's traveling this way and you keep losing gas, how do you keep going that way? So when you see falling volume with falling price, it's telling you a reversal is coming. That's another indication to me that I'm seeing the lack of sell pressure.
I love it. Man. You know what I love about your TA, man, is it's very engaging.
I could be 100% wrong too. We could lose 42 and dump to 20 cents. I always say I'm open-minded. Like, you have to know that anything could happen at any given moment in time. These are just probabilities, but when I play the probabilities, over hundreds and hundreds of time, they play out for you, So, but you have to trust
large numbers.
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, let's just take a quick look at the overall markets here. I'm gonna pull up my laptop. Now we have Bitcoin sitting at $20,129.18. We are in this. I feel like over the last 3 days, I know you guys are the TA guys, but I'm just speaking in obvious metrics here. 20K now support. At least, it's been flipped. I think it's safe to say.
I like this, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you look, we traded, essentially from September 18th all the way until 3 days ago under 20K, with the exception of 1 day over 20K. So under 20K for 3 weeks, and now the last 3 to 4 days over 20K. I think it's safe to say, at least in my book, I think 20K is now the pretty solid support. We'll let you guys dig deeper into that in a moment. Let's take a quick look. We got Ethereum coming in at where it's been at for the last since the merge finished off, just over 1,300. Biggest gainers for the day. We got Casper up, I haven't seen them in the top 100. Casper had a giant ICO early 2020. Layer 1 smart contract, pretty cool project. Definitely worth a look if you guys aren't.
People have been super chatting in and asking me all week last week. I was at my channel. Get a metric because of how many people come in and out, right? It's almost like the subway. My channel is like so many people tell me, and I can kind of catch a trend just from the super chats or the type of people. They were telling me Casper was going to go, and then
there it goes.
Yeah, Casper's got a lot of potential.
Doge looks like it's about to pop too.
Casper, even though it's a little looks like it's probably overbought at the moment. Up 15% for the week, 16% in the last 24 hours. Obviously, they probably have some partnership or news. We'll take a look into it. We'll get back to you tomorrow, see what's behind the pump. Generally, if you get a big rally like this, it's probably something behind it, partnership or integration with someone else. We'll taking a quick look at the crypto bubbles. We have the Raven coin up 5%, Graph up 3%, and then Helium down, Atom up 3% as well. Fear and Greed Index in at 26, a little bit more ease in the sentiment. I think people are getting a little bit more comfortable. As you can see where we were last week, 22, last month, 22. I feel like Uptober might actually be a thing. Don't forget, you got midterms coming up, so a lot of bullish sentiment and pretty flat on the traditional markets. NASDAQ just over, slightly in the red, 0.06 down. So
that's flat.
Pretty flat across the board. And then I do want to give a couple shout outs here. I saw some new names here as well. So Chef Goldum, we got Michael Bennett, Trey Spain, Chris Jordan, Bricks, Rimo needs Trimo, Jan, Mans John Barbecue, Warlim, and G. Offen. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto.
All right. I have a few questions for my friend next to me. All right, so is 20K now support for Bitcoin, Lifer?
20K support for Bitcoin. Man, that's I'll tell you.
Are you comfortable that it flipped? 20 flipped from resistance to support.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say no, but I'll tell you what I'm more comfortable with.
Okay.
All right. And if you go to the Bitcoin on the weekly chart, all right, I got this all. I'm just gonna delete my all-time history index here. I have what's called a trifecta recently. All right. One thing, you do not see bullish divergence on the weekly.
This is the weekly.
Barely ever. When you see it, you have to heed it. That tells me that was our bottom. You see what I'm saying? Because like, when's the last time you saw a weekly divergence? Now, the only other space that I was, and if you were watching my channel, I brought it up every day. I put all, this is simple. You put a line here. Those are those two candles closed. It was 19,300. If you watched all week, you can't see it here, but all week on the 1 hour chart, we battled this line like a mo. And I kept saying, we go below it, we could make a low lows, because that's that weekly support has to hold. 19.3 has to, like I kept, and there was also a POC at 19.1, and I kept being like, man. And that, if you saw, I went long last Thursday or Friday night. I was like, I'm long, baby, long. And I called along. I nailed it. Thank God. It was lucky. But, well, the TA played out. It was a symmetrical triangle on the 4 hour, and I saw momentum. And the end of a node usually tells you that you're going to go back to the POC too. So that was kind of, when we got to the end of this area, I figured we'd go back to the red line.
Okay. Now,
but so as long as we lose 19,003, as long as we stay above 19,003, so that was my weekly support. I said this weekly candle has to close above it. Yeah. We kept dabbling with it. This one came through. Like, it looks like we're going to be able to close this weekly candle above weekly support. As long as we stay above that, we're golden. I give you the trifecta. Total market cap, right, has to be above the 200 simple. We did it again right now. We keep playing with this. This closes on the weekly above the 200. We're on our way to getting to calling a bottom. I'm telling you right now, because if we go back below it, you'll see me switch immediately, and I'll say, well, we could have so every single time we play with this my yellow line here, the simple. Every time we're above it, because every single bull run has started with us getting above the 200 simple. It's very simple. And then if you want to be really, really secure, it all starts on the 4 hour, getting above the 200 simple on the 4 hour time frame. All right, you have to get above that too. So let me flip on the 5 MAs here. So far, we're doing that. We did it here. We fell through. We did it again. If we can really maintain this, like if this can make a flag, which is looking pretty nice, and this can maintain this flag, continue, you got yourself a nice measured move here, right? And I haven't done this yet. Like, this is TA I've never done yet. Like, I haven't even seen this measured move yet. 21,700. So thank you for bringing me here, guys. You guys are awesome.
Hey, man, you're awesome.
I feel so blessed to be here.
Also, Broke Yoshi dropped 10 gifted memberships as well. Thank you so much, my love.
My love?
My love. I'd like to give a month free in my group if they'd like, if someone anyone wants that, we could do some trivia or something fun. I don't know. It's up to you guys. It's completely up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
We'll throw something. I'll propose a question at the end, and then stay tuned for details. I'll pick something out, and then we'll
He's the creative guy.
at the end.
We're the nerds.
Sam, is it okay if I call you Sam? Would you like?
Yeah, no, Sam is great. Life or whatever you want, man.
All right, Life or Sam. Yeah. Sam Life. So I did TA on ETH yesterday, and I did it on the daily chart, and I saw this massive bull flag playing out, and I talked about. If it does break, it's probably going to break to the 1950 to 2000 level. I want to get your take on it. I want your opinion. And this was in the title and thumbnail of the video today. Is ETH getting ready for a big pop, a big rally to the upside? Please go ahead. Share your thoughts, your charts.
Yeah. Well, again, ETH is the leader of the altcoins, right? So the first thing you want to look at when you're looking at this is ETH BTC chart. You just want to throw that out there. If you see bullishness in that chart, it's a good sign because that means Bitcoin's going to pump. If Bitcoin pumps, ETH always outpumps it. Think about it, Bitcoin goes from 20,000 to 40. ETH will go from 1,600 to 32. It'll double when Bitcoin will only do a 20 or 30% move. So I like this. See, this ETH is kind of making an inverted head and shoulder. And I've been actually putting this out. You make 38% on your Bitcoin if you throw it into ETH right now. And that's a nice trade. So I like to make BTC trades. I teach people a lot about them. A lot of people they just know how to trade. They come from the stock market. They don't realize you can trade BTC pairs, USDC. So you go back to Bitcoin, ETH, and this goes back to my same 3-day idea. I'll throw your daily chart up real quick, right? So I think you were seeing, if I'm correct, this flag, right?
Full flag, yeah.
Right? And you were taking the length of the pole and possibly giving yourself an area here. I have 2,300 there. That's a measured move to the next resistance though, 1990. I think you're pretty spot on there. Again, POC. You get above this POC, you're skyrocketing to this area here. Like you're gonna go. And again, this coincides with my idea that the dollar index is dumping on the 3-day. That'll coincide to a pump in the S&P. It'll influx money back into Bitcoin. The money printers also, because they're getting, you see that UN begs the Fed to stop printing money. Like,
Beg them.
I mean, that's like, they're lost. Like they have no clue. I told you everyone 10 years ago, family and friends, and I got into Bitcoin a long time ago because inflation was coming. It was coming. I started buying gold and silver before Bitcoin. I do see Bitcoin. There's a 78% chance, probability. You're low on the stochastics. You have lack of bearish momentum, slightly turning. But again, if you get rejected by a POC and you break that level, anything could happen. But there's a 70% chance in my mind that ETH's going to go up, possibly to about $5,500.
Let's go, baby.
And then quick shout out to Crypto Billy, Love Learning. Both dropped $5 super chats.
Appreciate it. All right, I want to pivot. I want to pivot to some traditional market news that could have some resounding effects for everyone. So OPEC Plus to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day to shore up prices, defying U.S. pressure. Some things I've highlighted here. Then I want to show a video of what he said about it. A group of some of the world's most powerful oil producers on Wednesday agreed to impose deep output cuts, seeking to spur a recovery in crude prices despite calls from the U.S. to pump more to help the global economy. Energy market participants had expected OPEC, which includes Saudi Arabia and Russia, to impose output cuts of somewhere between 500,000 and 2 million barrels. Now, Biden had directed the Department of Energy to release another 10 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve next month. He went on to say, in light of today's action, the Biden administration will also consult with Congress on additional tools and authorities to reduce OPEC's control over energy prices. Good luck. And then let's take a look at what our commander-in-chief had to say. This was, I believe, today or yesterday where he spoke. So here we go.
What's your reaction to the OPEC fund decision?
Disappointment, and we're looking at what alternatives we may have. Don't hurt him, man. You're knocking him through the wire.
Venezuela one of those alternatives?
There's a lot of alternatives. We haven't made up our mind yet.
The G20 summit, sir.
Maybe meet President Putin at the G20 summit or APEC summit to talk about Ukraine and China. That remains to be seen. A lot. No, the trip was not essentially for oil. The trip was about the Middle East and about Israel and rationalization of positions. But
right, he said the trip
Hold on.
wasn't.
First of all, why do pull up looking like a straight, like a robot?
Biden.
It's like a Matrix.
Look, pull up the first 2 seconds of that. Pull up to the first 2 seconds. Just hit play at the beginning. He pulled up looking like an outdated T2 Terminator robot. Like,
Hold on, let me fix this real quick.
it is a disappointment.
yeah, you gotta, yeah. But I'm telling you, man, dude pulled up straight up like that, like Elon's new. Look at him. Look at him pulling out like a robot.
He's not very nimble. Look at that.
Disappointment. And,
Anyways,
All right.
Rob, I'm gonna ask you first. Are you are we in, put it to you as nice as I can? Are we in deep trouble here? If they're not, so Biden, they took a trip to Saudi Arabia, said it wasn't talk about this, but I call BS 100%. Had to go to Saudi Arabia. And so they've been begging OPEC to produce more barrels of oil, right? To meet the supply, to kind of bring the supply demand back to kilter.
Here's the thing. Like,
Are we in trouble? Not only are they not going to produce more, they're actually going to cut back.
okay, here's the thing. Why would OPEC not be producing as much oil as they can? I mean, I'm no expert in this field, but I'm just under the assumption with just a general business model. It wouldn't, if there is demand for oil, which we understand there is a demand. So it's not like they're producing oil and people aren't buying it and it's just sitting in their silos. So I'm just thinking, hey, they're probably already producing as much as they can. And if they were to produce more, that requires more infrastructure, which for energy takes years and years. So I think it's a pipe dream. I think it's just a PR move to go out in front of the press and be like, "Hey, we're going over here, talk to these to OPEC. We're going to go to Middle East. We're going to get more oil production. We're going to demand this. We're going to put limits on the price of oil from Russia." This is all a PR move. It's not realistic. The free market will determine what the price of oil is. And if U.S. doesn't want, if the U.S. puts a cap on how much oil, what the price of oil is from Russia, Russia will turn around and sell it to India or China. That's how the free market works. It's very simple. And then at the same time, if you go over to a nation that is producing oil and a company that's producing oil, they're not all of a sudden producing at 60% with their feet kicked up, just waiting for somebody to come in and ask for more. There's a market, there's a demand, there's a need for oil. They're probably producing as much as they want. So I think it's comical. It's extremely comical.
Does this have anything to do with Russia being part of OPEC? And Sam, feel free to chime in at any time you'd like.
Maybe, perhaps.
Don't we have so much oil? Don't we have more oil underneath the United States than like any country in the world?
We have enough oil. We have enough oil. If we were to drill and refine the oil, we could literally supply the entire world for decades.
American made, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, so
we may not make a lot of things now, but when we did make things, man, we made good things. You know,
we
made good stuff.
Let me give you guys a scenario. Can you see a scenario to where next year it's gonna be campaigning for the next presidential election, right? It's gonna start next year. Do you think this administration is gonna be backs against the wall? Gas prices are gonna be out of control. I mean, you guys agree that if OPEC cuts back 2 million barrels a day, gas is going to go up at the pumps. Yes, can we all agree?
Immediately. I mean, when I saw that, I was like,
I mean, gas here is like $6.
You can see $10, and oil looks like it's about to pump on the charts.
Okay, good. Now, before we get into the charts, can you see a scenario where going into the next presidential election, Biden somehow either is gonna reinstate that Keystone pipeline, or do something that goes against his party?
I can see him going back in on the
problem
pipeline.
with America is these days now is both sides can have a good idea, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay to take one idea from the other side, like,
why
but they're so polarized. If they do one thing, then it's like it's like, but you got to do what's good for the country, even if it's. And I feel like we're so polarized that people won't do the right thing for the people, and the people are what matters the most.
Amen.
And I think everyone can feel that now, right?
100%.
You have people on both sides, like, actually agreeing with, hey, Dems aren't helping me, Rebs aren't helping me, like, and I keep saying we need the blockchain party. Maybe you guys want to run with me. Maybe we got the security estate in this room right now.
We'll start a campaign right now. We got a lot of.
Let's go down the strip.
Can I be the SCC commissioner?
We're hitting the strip right now.
We also got a lot of campaign donations as well. Big Chili Willie, $5. Crypto Billy, another $10.
They want to see us take
Michael
take the
Miller,
cabinet.
$3. Crypto Muscle, $10. Crypto Muscle says, "Let's go, Brandon. Let's go." So got a lot.
It was gonna come out.
All right.
You said you said oil looks like it's coming down. You want to talk about that on the charts?
Well, I was just looking at it on the daily, right? And again, let's go to that 3-day chart. 3 days about to bang again with the falling wedge for oil. And look, it hit this had resistance. It bounced off support. Look at that massive dump. How come it didn't? It got huge buy-up pressure here, right? And now it's about to touch the 200 simple. And the moving averages get tight. Whenever they get tight, you tend to see a move. That's cup and handle-esque, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but oil is at support right now and holding it pretty nicely. For you tell me why. And the 3-day chart looks like it's about to recover just like the S&P. And if the dollar tanks, what's going up? Oil, right? Because
oil is the bloodline. If you look at a roadmap, it looks like a bunch of arteries, right? It looks like veins, arteries. That's how your body functions by the movement of blood pumped by the heart, which is all pushed through your oxygen, is pushed through your blood vessels, and then your blood vessels come back. And anyways, I ain't no doctor.
Great medical synopsis.
All I'm saying you look at a map, it looks like veins, it looks like arteries. The bloodline is the roads, and that is the oil. We all know that oil is how you facilitate the economy, not just here in the United States, but globally. Remember, ships go across the Atlantic, the Pacific with oil tankers, and they that's the bloodline. And you know what? If the price of oil doubles, what do you think is going to happen to the cost of goods here in the U.S., in China, and across the pond?
Here's what scares me, you guys, okay, is the U.S. has been releasing 1 million barrels of oil a day from its strategic reserves, okay? And they're going to stop on October 31st is the last day. Think about what's literally the week after midterm elections. What's the U.S. going to have to do? Because there's a certain level they have to keep their strategic reserves at. They're going to go out and they're going to buy a crap load of oil. So you have OPEC reducing supply.
With printed money.
Right, exactly.
Again,
are they going to have to print money?
So ridiculous.
That's a conversation for a different day. OPEC's cutting supply. You have winter, usually oil usage goes up. And then you have the U.S., an entire country that's worth $20 trillion in GDP, is going to have to go out and restock those reserves. Can we see an $8-9 gallon of gas, like national average? Like, that sounds insane, but that's possible, right?
Well, with the inflation playing through the system, I think next summer, it's realistic and I think actually probable. And the price of gas goes up every summer, and so now that people have gotten acclimated to the price of oil at $5 to get to $6, $7, $8. Now this is the benchmark. This is the normal. $5 is what you're expected to pay. It's no longer $3. Do you think $3 is back on the table ever again here in the States?
Possible,
I don't think so.
Possible.
So I think
dude. You can't say
well,
never,
it's not going to go back to $1, right?
Bro,
if you would have said the same thing when it was at $3, you'd have been like, nah, gas ain't going to go to 99 cents.
Well, that's a little different, man. 99 cents to $3.
Hey, man, it's the markets. It's a commodity. It moves. The price moves. And you set new floors that you'll never cross again because inflation doesn't go backwards. It might drop down from year to year a little bit. It might go back down to 2% instead of 10, but it doesn't go negative.
Unless you had my mind going, so I'm like, what would cause the price to go up or down? I'm like, well, the population keeps increasing, right? So if the demand keeps going up, but then there's that idea that we actually aren't reproducing at the rate we used to, right? And Elon Musk keeps hitting on this, like we're actually losing the rates we were at in the 1970s. So,
and not only
that's a crazy question, but are we like, is the population decreasing? Will that affect the price?
Well,
of
you
goods?
do have the retirement of the baby boomers.
Well, the baby boomers, the largest generation, I think, ever.
You also got to think
74 million people
with the retirement of the baby boomers. I mean, think about it. They're not driving and commuting to work every day. So there probably is less traffic on the.
That's my mom and dad. My dad's 46.
Real quick, I just want to give a couple of shout outs. So, new people in the chat. We got Laura, Andrew, AJ, Greg, Emery, Diablo, Jan, West, Timmy, BG, Kyle, Nix, Average Joe, Crypto Revolution, Jamie, Pimps, Ace, Oda. Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
All right. I have a piece of fun news to share with you guys. Okay. This is kind of fun. There are inverse ETFs to Jim Cramer's advice. So Tuttle Capital has filed for 2 ETFs, which it created to trade against investment recommendations made by Jim Cramer. Give me 2 of them. The short inverse Cramer, S-Jim, or I call it Slim Jim, and the long Cramer ETF, or L-Jim. There's a crypto trader, a famous one, Algod. I'm not familiar with him, but he took a bet to trade against all of Cramer's predictions, and by August he had doubled his 50Ks.
First of all, are you?
He was buying ETH at the high. He was buying ETH on the highs and then tell you to dump it.
Do you
Idiot.
Have you watched his?
Some dude left my channel one day when I said I said it very nicely. I said, Jim Cramer, come on. He was like, he wrote me this long email. I spent years watching him, and then I respected you and loved you. How could you? And I was like, just because I had, an opinion about Jim Cramer, which I thought was actually pretty spot on, as you can see by the ETFs.
People have a hard time disagreeing civilly. I guess.
Like it's okay for us to have an opinion, and then they get offended if it's their hero,
Yeah, what are we supposed to disagree on everything, right, Robin?
Exactly. You know what? Yes, man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you said? We know how Lifer feels about Cramer. Rob, are you?
No, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
You know what? I'll say this. I might not take much out of his financial insight, but he does have a progressive style of show. His Mad Money kind of broke that stonk mentality where it was like guide to desk with the papers in front of him.
I like that.
So I think he opened.
Did he pave the way for us to?
I think he had that YouTube vibe before YouTube was even created, and
so we're not talking about his personal life. I'm talking about his trading.
I think he pushed.
But he should have been talking about chocolate chip cookies or oatmeal cookies.
Financial content.
He could have been a great cooking guy.
Production. I'm the production guy here. I'm the one that's like putting things together. And I look at it, his setup. I look at his show from a strictly productive viewpoint. And I think he brings a lot of value on that side because he broke the norm.
Get to your point, bro.
I like his production. That's what I was saying. You asked me a freaking question.
No, I asked him,
and I said I don't really care for his investment advice. That was literally my first sentence. I was like, bro, I don't really care what his insight is.
How his
but I'm
production
just saying, as a man with a strong production background here, I think the dude's onto something, man. And I appreciate his content.
Wow, thanks, Robert.
What I love about what you did for me is you made me realize that I can always take something positive out of any situation, even if it's something I may not really appreciate that much. There's something out of that situation I can say, well, you know what? He may have horrible calls and have a show about finance, but you know what? He's awesome on camera and he has good energy and he paved the way to get off of the desk, So
I mean, okay, would you rather watch?
He's doing other stuff off of the desk, if you know what I'm saying.
What, memos?
Yeah, memos. Something sticky, like sticky notes,
Sticky notes. Wow.
Also, Marky Mark, $2 super chat. Jimmy, $5 super chat. Thanks, guys. You guys are too
awesome.
kind.
All right. Let's move on. To some SCC and Ripple news. The SCC, if you're an XRP fan, you got a bag of XRP, put an X in the chat. Let us know you're here. The SEC moves to block new evidence from the Ripple case. This is sourced from Daily Huddle. They want to block 2 additional companies from offering input on the lawsuit against Ripple. 2 companies are TapJets and iRemit. They filed motions to serve as an amicus curiae, which is essentially translates to friend of the court. in the case to support Ripple. And this is what the SCC said. This last one is a quote from the SCC. They said, these are improper attempts to offer evidence outside the constraints of discovery restrictions, the rules of evidence, and this court's prior order. Does this tell you guys that the SCC is all but finished? Like, are they done? Is Ripple hands down going to win? Are they just grasping at straws? Lifer, or Robin, why don't you take this question first?
Okay, first of all, I don't think this is any one piece or one piece of the puzzle that basically says, hey, they're going to win. I think they've been trending in that direction. That's generally how the courts work. You get a pile of evidence. If you're trying to convict somebody, it's usually not one piece of evidence, but it's a multitude. It's you're building a case. And what we have here is the SEC trying to build a case and it falling apart. And it's every week we come on here and we're like, yeah, another win for XRP. You might not like XRP. I'm not even that bullish on XRP. I think it's going to be a great token for price movement. I think off of the FOMO and liquidity that the exchange is going to put on it. But that's irrelevant. If the SEC loses this case, my lord, such a big win for cryptocurrency in its entirety. I mean, basically, you have the go F yourself move on the SEC when it comes to regulation on ICOs. Because if the SEC were to win, you basically just you're putting every crypto that's had any ICO at vulnerability to also getting sued. And conversely, if Ripple Labs wins, the opposite happens. Every ICO that's been out there no longer in question because you can just look at this case as precedence. So I'm dumb excited. And you know what? Every week it's more bullish news. This week, no exception.
Lifer, what are your thoughts? Is the SEC done? Like, is Ripple going to win this thing? I mean, and do you agree with Robin that this is not only huge for Ripple, but for the entire cryptocurrency space?
Yeah, I'm naive in some of these concepts because I want it so bad, right? I have a friend who's older than me who knows a lot about government, and every time I bring this up to him, he says, they can just open another case up and keep using taxpayer dollars. Like, they don't have to stop here, and it could continue and continue. So I just want to, like, sprinkle a little bit of, like, maybe not, right? I hope so, and I'm all for it, you know, and I'm just like Robin there. He was basically speaking my language. So, but the government is stubborn, and they're made up of greedy people that don't want to give up, and they usually don't let it down that easily. However, we have judges now pinning them. We have the Hinman, right? They tried to say it wasn't Hinman, then it was. Then then they didn't want to let out the Hinman speech as part of why they said Ethereum was a security. I mean, everyone knows the story, and it's obvious what they did. We had them a year ago, right? Thank God we finally had a judge put it on them. So again, it also shows that people are in the best interest of the people. Technology will eventually help us, and the powers that be that are making money through the parasitic banking system don't want to give us a piece. They don't want to give us a piece. And they're going to try to do whatever they can to hold us down. One thing I want to reference is the Kim Kardashian case recently. Yeah. I was very selective in looking at his language. Did you notice what he said? Crypto,
we broke that whole
currency,
thing down,
security. I'd never seen him do that in my life. And I said I said that on my live stream. I said, oh my God, he's doing it now. He's putting the words together. He's trying to make a basket term for himself.
I brought that up when we did a separate video on that.
He was the campaign manager for whatever. But
and I said it's interesting that he said crypto token securities or whatever he said, and so I think they're starting to draw that line. But for me, this is the SEC.
But you can't. What do you think about this? I have you a question. You asked me so many questions.
Go ahead.
You can't buy this bottle of water with a stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't put it on a hardware wallet and take it around the world and pay an Uber for it. But, like, almost all of these cryptocurrencies are going to have that capability. So are they currencies or commodities? What are they? Is it the CFTC? Is it the SCC? And at one point, I think it's a whole new organization that needs to be created. They don't have it. They're using the Howey test. It just.
I am so happy you brought this up, and anyone who's watched our channel for a while knows my position on this. And Robin and I have gone back and forth. I think crypto and digital assets are so unique. They don't fit into one basket. They're not a security 100%. They're not a commodity 100%. They're not a currency 100%. They're extremely unique. So when you have a burgeoning technology like this, who a lot of people say is going to be a completely new sector of the financial system in this country, which is huge, we need a new body to regulate it. Now, maybe not create a whole new branch of government like the SCC, but at least a committee or something. Because you can't just say, all right, if you launch an ICO, you're a security, but 99% of tokens or projects launch ICOs. And then as they become more decentralized, okay, now you're not a security, so we're going to pass you off to the CFTC. Oh, and now you're being used to do, we're going to pass you on to like, it just doesn't work like that. We need a completely separate, like, branch or committee to rule over this stuff.
So I know you guys have, some of y'all have already heard this before, but I'm just going to break it down for you. First of all, if to reference what we were talking about here, you'll see here, this is SEC hunts influencers. This is the video that we're referencing, all the subject matter. We go a little deeper into this subject. The Kim Kardashian thing, I know she is the TMZ face there, but a lot of implications that could roll over into the broader cryptocurrency market. So definitely don't overlook this this headline or this story. And then also, when it comes to projects being securities, you know what? At ICO level, when a project comes out, you can make an argument, and I understand the parallels that it can be made to it being a security, because it lacks the utility when it's first launched. You can say the same thing about Bitcoin in its earliest days. You know, Satoshi was essentially the CEO, I guess you could say, if you were to label it as a security. But at some point through all these cryptocurrencies, take Ethereum, for example. Ethereum, when it first came out, it lacked the smart contracts. It was simply just a token that could be speculated on in the eyes of the SEC. Now, if you were to ignore all of its utility that was to come, you could say, hey, that's a security, and it kind of fits all those boxes. However, what happens is there is a transformation at some point in time throughout the lifetime of the project. And you can look at Ethereum and be like, hey, I can do something with this. I can use it to transact. I can use it to power smart contracts. I can use it to share data. I can use it to purchase NFTs, to hold my own personal value. And I can use it to bank myself. I can use it to unplug from the system. So there's actual real utility that can be used with this cryptocurrency. You can't say the same thing about securities. You can't take a Tesla stock and ball it up and put it in your gas tank. But you can do that.
Can you say without a question of a doubt, you can't do that?
You can't do it. Okay. But you can do it with Ethereum. You can use it as fuel to power the ecosystem. You can use it to store data. You can have your important records on there, your own personal identity, your home mortgage, your car insurance. You can have all of that there stored forever that can't be erased. And that is something you can't do with a security. So it is not a security. But you just have to identify at what point does it transition from one to the other. So.
All right. Interesting. All right. I want to... I
get that a lot after like the first 40 minutes, and then it disappears. And I have everything Trump tight. It's so weird. So that's weird. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Yep. It should be fine as long as your software is on. Yeah.
Oh, are we lagging? Anyways, we'll continue.
No, I don't think so.
So, you're a lifer. You're a very passionate person. I feel like you're a kind of person who works.
Could you guys tell that when I came in here?
Just in general, man. Like just watching your videos.
Thank you.
And obviously, like talking to you on the phone for like 2 minutes. You're extremely passionate. I feel like you don't have like you wear your heart on your sleeve, which is amazing. So, I'm curious to get your take on this. 3 top Celsius executives withdrew multiple millions of dollars right before the company went under. Source from Ethereum World News. 3 key Celsius executives withdrew crypto worth around $42 million from custody accounts. These three individuals are Alex Mashinsky, which is the former CEO, Daniel Leon, which is the former CSO, and current CTO Nuke Goldstein. Tokens they withdrew included Celsius token, Bitcoin, USDC, and Ethereum, and they were withdrawn between May and June of this year. Now, we all know the whole Celsius situation. A lot of people lost money. It sucks. Alex Mashinsky is a deceitful, con man, lying piece of crap, and if I keep going, I'll say words that I can't take back. And so we all agree on that. Is this like, should they go to jail for this? Or is this like, oh, we're not regulated by the SCC or government, so it's free reign? Like, is this why we need a little more regulation? Like, just share your thoughts and anything else you want to talk about with this whole situation. Lifer, I'll throw it to you first.
I mean, it goes back to what we talked about earlier, and just completely on all sides of the board. We really don't have a fair system on any playing field. You know, defense, finance, it doesn't really matter. So they knew the laws, they had the lawyers and the accountants, and they were probably told the risk, and they were like, scot-free if we could just all claim. And you know what they did, which is sad, is they knew that no one had an FDIC approved, like, you know, no one was protected. So they said, you know, it's on you. You wanted to dream to be a millionaire, you know, and we gave you that dream, and then we became millionaires off your back. I mean, it's disgusting. You know what else I would never want to live like that. My mother would, like, my parents proud of me. Like, my mom was a teacher, my dad was an iron worker. I came from good working Irish people. Like, that's why I don't push a lot of, like, you know, leverage trading links on my beginner traders, because I'm afraid that they'll just go the wrong way when all they need to learn is some free indicators that can help them on their beginning course, you know? Yeah. So I just, I feel horrible. Like, this made me feel like low frequency when I read it. You know, Alex coming out there, I gave Wi-Fi to the subway, and I'm God's gift to the earth.
You know what pisses me off is his freaking wife she has a clothing line store or whatever, and she made a shirt. Okay, after they filed for bankruptcy, it said, their thing was unbank yourself, unbankrupt yourself, and she was like trolling these people on Twitter.
That's crazy.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you? There's literally people who lost their entire life savings, and all the while, days before, even hours before, you guys stopped everything. Your company went under. You were telling people everything is fine. A week before you went under, you were asking people to put on hot and not touch their money for 6 months, and then you would give them more interest.
I just had an epiphany, man. You just made me, your like spidey senses must have crossed with mine. Was this planned all along? Was he planned a rug pull from the very beginning, and now it starts to make sense? Like, he was,
maybe not.
He doesn't have a good track record.
Maybe not day one, but early on.
Because even the powers that be want to see crypto look like a clown's car. Mm-hmm. So this works for their regulation, and this works for everything they're going for, and this works for the control. So it's perfect. Yeah, look, you guys can't control yourselves. You do need the SEC to step in. You do need to have, you only have to be an accredited investor. Yeah, look at the masses. They just lose their money. They have no idea what they're doing. Right. It's sad because he did it. Played into a devilish game, and then spins it on us to keep us in control. It's vicious. It's vicious.
So it's foul, man.
Guys.
So real quick, hold on, wait.
I didn't even think that till now. Like, this is crazy.
Robin, wait.
What's up?
Lifer, if you were to rate your dance moves on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, what would you say?
I mean, I used to do that Gangsta's Paradise little jam when I was back in the 8th grade. The dances.
I used to do the dice.
All right.
I'm not. I can't.
To celebrate milestones here, we know what we do. But before we get into it, hold on. Let me let's throw some people in the club. We got Hoosier Motivation, Crypto Chick. It's not you, it's me. Carlos Seven Snipes, April, Restril, George Costas, and then Loki, Swim, Dominic. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Before we launch it, let the people know who have never been here what we're doing and why we're doing it.
All right, we celebrate milestones. We get to big numbers that we haven't reached before. In the chat, we like to pat ourselves in the back and celebrate.
With our community.
We like to celebrate with the community, and in doing so, we open up the damn club.
Rocco?
Let's go, Rocco.
Yeah! Oh, they show the whole studio, too. The red man, he's throwing the wall.
Vanilla Ice, you like that?
Oh!
The dice move, rolling up. Look. Robin's go-to move is brim covering the eyes and violently shaking his head back and forth. Where's my number one hater? That's what I need to know. I have
entertainment capital of the world. We can't turn our backs on. We can't turn our backs on philosophy.
There's always a good hater out there.
I have an 8-year-old son. He is so goofy, man. He came up with this dance. He called it the giddy up dab, where he giddy up like a horse and he dabs. And I've always wanted to do it, but I don't have enough room in the studio. We need a bigger studio, Rob.
This place is amazing.
We don't.
This is awesome.
We do need a bigger one, but we're okay for now.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. Again, we like to have fun, so hope you guys enjoy that. Anyways, let's. Anything else you guys want to talk about on this Celsius topic before I move on?
You're doing a great job covering things that people need to talk about.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I'm like,
yeah. We try. We try to not bore you to death. And at the same time, we try to give you realistic perspective.
The guy running the board has the crispiest Bitcoin hat too.
Bro,
He's so fresh.
Okay.
Rocco,
fresh.
Rocco, let's go. Where's that face at?
Rocco, he's like, how do I do this for everything?
Like,
so
this man right
Rocco
here.
is a straight gangster. I mean,
You gotta understand,
Dude,
like,
his fingers are moving like a pianist.
bro, this man, this show would not run without him. So Rocco, we love you and appreciate you.
yeah, he also set up guest setup with new camera here last minute. So there he is. Look at that.
Also known as the Don.
The Don.
They don't even have DSLRs. Like they got what is that? Luma? Like you guys got like $10,000. This studio.
There's a lot of money in the
It's
studio.
like $100,000 studio. This is a fish.
No, it literally is $100,000.
I could tell. I built them before. I built them. Like
Yeah, you know, man. You know, you used
they
to
got
be in.
teleprompters and screens and lights.
You know, when we're very when we do something, we're like, all right, we go all in, baby.
Oh, this
and
is
that's why, you know, the first thing you came in here, you said is, I want to be around the people that are going to stick around. Well, we ain't going nowhere. We can't go anywhere.
I could tell. Yeah. You guys are done. Like,
so, yeah.
We gotta. Everyone in my life, send a subscription, please, to this, to their channel. Let them know, man.
Yeah.
Send that my love to them. Let them know. Help them grow. Everyone helps that algorithm.
Everybody gets a shout out here. I don't care how busy we are. You know what I mean? Like, we might miss people here and there, but everybody gets a shout out. Everybody gets love.
And also,
I mean, that's why we're doing it, man. We got 0 sponsorships. We ain't take a damn dollar. We got 0 sponsorships, bro. And we could use it. we could use it.
FTX, if you're watching.
Let me tell you guys
one
thing.
Saying we don't need no.
2 of my close friends made like 80 mil, and I was always like, all right, I'm gonna write a little proposal, and they're gonna throw me like $300,000, and I'm gonna build my studio, and like it never happened, and like eventually, it was me and my NNTNONA and a Scarlett, and the record button. And honestly, if you got good information, if you have something that people want, they're gonna keep coming back, and you're gonna grow. And
yeah, we didn't need to go all in ham on what we do, but we had the means to do it.
It's nice to take that, but
we have the means to do it. And if anybody out here is trying to create content or use a platform to speak what they truly believe in, do it, man. It's simple. Just do it. You can start small. You don't need to go from 0 to 100 right away.
Yeah.
Just get some practice, get in front of a camera, or if you want to write a blog, or you want to start a post, whatever you want to do, man. If there's something that you're passionate about, just do it. You don't have to have big ass grand studio or even college education. You can, it's all self-taught.
Look at Robin. He dropped out of middle school.
That's
right. You need a pocket square.
That's smart.
Yeah, and so
he dropped out of kindergarten.
We're blessed. We were in a situation where we could invest in our setup, and we had the means to do it financially. So we did it for the community, and
also Lifer mentioned his community. So guys, in the Sin City community, Crypto Lifer came all the way from Boston just to visit our studio. Just kidding. No, but I'm not sure what he had
God
planned
sent me
today.
here for a reason. Right?
But we asked him to join our live, and without hesitation, this man came down here.
Hour before the show went live?
Hour before the show, this man came down here. So the least
and
we
I
can
will
do,
tell you, to do that, I had to unpack my entire studio, run to a restaurant, ask them to pack my French toast to go, ran to my hotel room, stuffed it in my face, ran down, checked out, didn't get the taxi for 10 minutes, went around, got the Uber. The lady got lost. She had the windows down. I said, put the AC on. I'm sweating. But no, I mean, it was like, it was an opportunity to vibe, man, to vibe with another group of people that I know have the passion for crypto that I have. That is, you don't get to do that every day. So, oh my gosh, to me, that was a dream come true.
Next time you visit Vegas, you let me know. I'll pick you up from the airport myself, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Now I got a click. I got a crew, man.
You got a
dude, everywhere I go now,
man.
Florida, Vegas, man, we making tours, baby. We making tours.
So people from our community, we dropped Crypto Lifers YouTube link in the description of this video. Please go subscribe, watch his TA. If TA's never been your thing, I promise you, when you watch this man's TA, it's very, very engaging.
We didn't get a chance.
Lifer and Forrest, and I would say Gareth are probably my three favorite.
Yo, thank you so much for the words of the compliment.
So here's the thing: we didn't get a chance to even chit chat because you walked in. We turned cameras on right away. Are you you're going to the Cardano NFT? Is that what brought you here to Vegas? I'm just curious.
No, I didn't even know about it.
How long are you in town for?
I'm here till Saturday morning, but I could extend it. Is it here? What is it?
Yeah, it's Friday, Saturday. DZ's coming out. DZ will be here tomorrow. We're gonna hang out with him.
Oh wow! So yeah, I mean,
and
I'm gonna hang out with DZ
NFT,
tomorrow.
The party starts.
Cardano,
Tomorrow. The convention starts on Saturday and Sunday. It's here at the Las Vegas Convention Center, the world's largest convention center. It's an absolute mecca.
We have a lot of world's largest here, guys.
Yeah, and so we hold the CES, which is the largest.
Looks like I'm gonna be extending my trip Sunday night.
Consumer electronics show. The same building. The same gigantic facility that can house over 100,000 people with all kinds of different booths, as far as the eye can see, is hosting the Cardano NFT. Charles Hoskinson will be here. We'll try to get him on camera. Maybe we'll coerce him to come by the studio. We'd love to have you join us. We'll have our mobile studio out there. We'll be filming on scene as well. Not to mention we're gonna hang out with DZ. We'll probably go out in Vegas style. Maybe hit up a club Saturday night or whatever. Anyways. You want to buckle up your seatbelt and hang out.
We're taking them on a field. We're taking everyone on a field trip.
If you're
I'll send clips to the Twitter.
Twitter clips. All right, let's get back to the news.
Wow, so I came at the perfect time. This is
you
nuts.
literally came at the perfect time.
Can I get tickets to this? Like this
Hell
is
yeah.
50 Cardano is all it costs. That's like $22.
Dude, CNFT.io.
That's right. All right.
That's right.
Let's talk about some more news. The EU is sanctioning Russia, but this time with crypto. This is a press statement from the European Union. All existing prohibitions on crypto assets have been tightened by banning all crypto asset wallets, accounts, or custody services, irrespective of the amount of the wallet, which previously was up to 10,000 euros, which was allowed. Now it does not matter. It could be 1 penny. If you have a crypto asset wallet, an account, a custody service in Russia, or you're Russian, it is being blocked and sanctioned. Now, these new sanctions are the 8th set of sanctions that have been imposed by the EU to cut Russia's economic growth and military success. We all talked about how Russia was pivoting and looking at cryptocurrency to kind of skate by and evade sanctions. Are you guys surprised that this happened, or are you surprised it took this long? And will this have effect, if any, on Russia and what they're doing and their financial system, Robin, economic system? What are your thoughts?
You know, my first question is this even effective? Because I seem like it hasn't slowed. I'm not saying that they're not needed. I'm not saying that they're pointless. I'm just asking an inward question here in thought. Is it even effective, these sanctions? Because they've been sanctioned to the max from the U.S. I don't really know what other sanction the U.S. can drop on them besides like sanctioning the great grandkids of oligarchs that nobody knows. And you can't train. My wife's Russian. You can't send anything, not even a letter. You can't send $1. You can't send a wire transfer. You can't send the second generation iPhone, or the iPhone that you were going to trade in. because that's normally how it goes in Russia. You know, you get a new iPhone, you take the old one, you send it to fam over there in Russia. Can't do that. Can't do nothing. And so, but this hasn't stopped, or changed the narrative between Russia and Ukraine. So is it effective? And we're seeing what is happening when you unplug a major economy from the global markets. It's doing nothing but hurting the price of commodities, all of the goods that are exchanged. And there's a lot of implications that come outside of this from just the banks, and the millionaires are locking up, they're locking up millionaires' bank accounts. There's economic hardship for small business owners, for families, and I'm asking myself, for what? Because it's not like Putin's gonna withdraw because of a sanction. And so for me, looking inward, just kind of in my own personal thoughts, is it effective? And if it's not effective, why are we doing it? Because the collateral damage from that is hurting people here with businesses. And so there's that. Second of all, I don't got nothing else to say, actually. That's all I got. Ain't no second of all. I was going to expand on it and kind of talk about about the sanction itself, but it is what it is. There's really no, they're not going to bend the rules. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything that we haven't seen before. And so for that, I'm asking myself, is it effective? And if it's not, is there a point to even put it in? So I don't know. Also, we got a few new people. I'm just going to give you a couple of shout outs here. Let's see here who we got. We got Crypto Rambler, CLX, Sam Tomlinson, Sean, and Chemistry Bro.
Sam was the dude that, I think Sam's the dude that connected us.
Sam Tomlinson is the dude that connected us.
That's the man. There you go.
Man, that's how you know that people genuinely like you, is they reach out on your behalf. That's
really David. Cool. David Kindle.
Stay right there, Rocco. Stay right there.
David, I love you, man.
Stay right there. David, I love you too, because that's my name.
Hola!
Emery brought up a good point.
What's up?
Russia granted citizenship to Edward Snowden. Find that pretty interesting. Me too.
Yeah.
You're not familiar with Edward Snowden?
Was that a jab at the U.S.?
He worked for the NSA. Okay, so the dude knows some secrets, and so he's been granted citizenship by Russia, which is pretty interesting. Now, Lifer, what are your thoughts on these sanctions? Do they even work? Do you have anything you want to add? Any thoughts or kind of where you see this going?
It's weird. I've always been like, bit of a conspiracy theorist. I don't even like that word because it was coined after people who were finding the truth, really. Right. Yeah. So it's like
people call me a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, it's like just really a truth seeker. But at the end of the day, truth to power, right? And that's what Charles Hoskinson said when I interviewed him. He's like, I like John McAfee for speaking truth to power, and that's like why I really love Charles, man, because he spoke to me that day. But just a lapse in my memory there. But the idea is, there was this thing, I was at this UN sanction protest 10 years ago, maybe even 12. Damn. And someone passed me this pamphlet, and it said BRICS on it. Brazil, Russia, Indonesia, China, India, China, Syria. And they were like a new financial system outside of the US dollar, right? And
this is supposed to be, not to cut you off.
No, keep going. I want to hear what you knew about it.
It's supposed to be a currency that's backed by precious metals.
So you've heard about BRICS too as well, right? So absolutely. I heard about this 12, 15 years ago. And then it slowly is creeping back up, and now I hear it again. And honestly, the world is an open place. For I have one entity to control all commerce through the U.S. peg dollar and Bretton Woods, right? We know what they did. And now when we print money, we're just derailing the euro, we're derailing the pound, we're and never mind the currencies you don't know about, like Turkish lira, and like Bitcoin already hit 100,000. Remember that? Like, remember that day Bitcoin hit 100K in Turkish lira. So I mean, like, they're going to eventually form their own ecosystems, I believe, and the world will eventually find its. You can't hold an empire. It's almost like the U.S. has an empire. How long can they control the entire world,
Can a cryptocurrency, and maybe it's not Bitcoin, but can a cryptocurrency be the world reserve currency? It's not backed by a government. It's not bound by the laws of a government. I mean, do you think, I'm not saying the next 2 years, maybe not even in the next 20 years, but do you think that's possible?
I think due to man's greed, inherent greed, we have to have an immutable blockchain scenario system, right, that takes care of trust, and we have it. We've never had it in the world. Everyone, Bitcoin is an amazing thing. We've never had something like this in the world. Nothing has ever hit $1 trillion in asset in 10 years. We've never seen, it's the most secure network in the world.
I 100% agree. I think Bitcoin, though, moving forward is going to be the savings account.
Yeah, it's gold.
And your 401k, it's going to replace your 401k. It's going to be your savings account. In the same way, look at legacy finance. Look at the environment that we're in now. You know, your American Express is usually tailored for your businesses. Your Visa is more your debit and check card. Your MasterCard generally is your traditional credit card. Same thing with Capital One. Now they do, bleed into other sectors. But essentially, especially when it was new, different sectors were tailored for different sectors of our economy. Same thing's going to happen with crypto. It's not going to be any different. And so Bitcoin, savings account, 401k, Ethereum is going to be, your NFT king unless it's dethroned by somebody else. Identification is going to be somebody else. Banking is going to be someone else. That's why we're super early, man. I'm so excited.
Amen
so excited about all of this, man.
Does crypto have all the properties of true money?
Certain, yes. Now,
yes.
I don't think anybody's rose to the top yet. I think the layer 2 solutions on Bitcoin highly centralized. I think there's vulnerability, and I think there's gonna come a pivotal moment where someone's gonna take advantage of its users, and it's gonna have the illusion that it's the base layer of Bitcoin. And I think people are gonna feel comfortable with it, and something's gonna happen. And I think that is gonna show the vulnerability of Bitcoin. So I don't think Bitcoin's best suited or even created for payments. At least not microtransactions.
But if it goes to proof of stake, it'll never happen.
No, and who knows? I don't think there's anybody that stands out. I don't think there's any project that you're like, yo, that's gonna be the new payment system. I think what you're gonna get first is the CBDCs. They're gonna run on a private. I think the CBDCs, the global ones, the major ones, the US, I think they're gonna be built. And they're going to run on top of private blockchains, Ethereum, Polygon, maybe XRP, who knows. And then those chains will have, at that point, the utility, they'll have the users, they're going to be able to scale, and then they can just take the CBDC and then they can put more private dApps on top. That's my guess. But at the same time, right now, all of these predictions and thoughts and experiments, it's like trying to figure out what the internet will look like in 2001. Nobody even dreamed up of Uber or Airbnb or Netflix. These were all novel ideas that you couldn't even think of at the time. And so what crypto will look like 10, 15 years from now, who knows? But I know I'm in the right spot.
Look better than the fiat, than the dollar, that's for sure.
And then just a quick shout out, AJ Lyons, Audrey, Sean, Sammy, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
We have a new member.
Was it Sean Burns?
Yeah, Crypto fan member. There it
There
is.
you go. That's all the news I got. Lifer, is there anything, before we sign off, anything you want to talk about? And let's start with are there any charts that you just see where you're just I gotta share this, I want to talk about it, or is there a project you really like, or what are your thoughts on maybe barbecue chicken pizza? Anything
Dude,
you want to talk
I
about?
freaking love barbecue sauce. It's my favorite. Can we have that right now? Let's go have it right now. It's my favorite. Barbecue chicken pizza is banging. So I believe the metaverse.
Found my new best
I believe the
friend, guys.
metaverse is gonna come back.
That's like a chewy cracker.
I would also like to treat you guys to lunch if that's okay.
Barbecue chicken pizza, I'll be there.
Yeah. I believe the metaverse is going to come back. And don't forget that some of the coins that have been working really, really hard behind the scenes are going to rip. I like Gala. I like Naka. Vulcan Forge is on my radar right now. I see it in the flag on the 15-minute, the 1 hour. These are projects that I know have they're like Sin City Crypto here. They're not giving up. They have the infrastructure. They've invested in themselves. They're here for the long haul. I'm telling you, if you sit in this studio right now, you know that 10 years from now, this is $1 million channel, everyone. And I'm blessed to be here. So
Blessed to have you, bro.
Yeah, you're an amazing person, man. I can tell why your community is so loyal and loud-spoken. And you know, when we started this channel, our number one goal was to create this engaged, loyal, fun community
and make it as sexy as possible.
And
that's what we do, baby.
And focus on making the production the best in the game. We fumbled a lot in the beginning. Robin and I both have restaurant industry background, so we knew nothing about being on camera, about working cameras, lighting, production.
But the internet has everything. It's in the 90s. You had encyclopedias. You have to buy bookcases worth of it to teach yourself what the world has to offer. Now it's at your fingertips. It's on your cell phone. Everything, the global encyclopedia, every piece of information out there. And outside of something that requires trade school and time, like being a surgeon, outside of something that particular, you can teach yourself anything.
Anything.
I mean, we put this wall up ourselves.
I never let my schooling interfere with my education. Mark Twain. Go get yours. Get a bag. You know?
Amen, man. Amen. Rob, you said you're going to ask a question. Are you still, Life, are you still giving away a month to...
Yeah.
Did you come up with a question, Robin?
All right. What is crypto? And it's got to come from one of our community members. What is Lifer's wife's name here in the chat? First one to drop that.
That's not hard. That's not hard.
What's the username? We got the username. There you go. So we'll get to that here in a moment. And then I do want to say that if you guys are in Las Vegas, if you're here,
Yoshi no dinero. Like
Broke Yoshi no dinero. There you go.
He got it. Broke Yoshi got it.
Broke Yoshi.
Broke Yoshi. You are the
And he's
proud...
a TA guy too.
Shout out to
so
Michael Benitez, man. I see you.
All right. If you guys are going to be here in Las Vegas, or if you have time to make it out to Las Vegas, if you're drive away, come out, hang out with us at the CNFT, Cardano NFT. It starts tomorrow, Friday. Tomorrow's the party day, so if you can't make it tomorrow, the convention starts on Saturday. It goes on to Sunday. We will be there. We're bringing Lifer with us. DZ's going to be there as well. We're going to get him in the studio.
We are going to get Charles Hoskinson on camera. Mark my words.
We're going to get Charles Hoskinson.
Don't mark my words, but I'm going to try my hardest.
And either ways, if you guys can make it, we would love to hang out with you there. If you're in town and you're not a weirdo, you can come hang out with us in the studio too. So,
before we sign off, just a huge thank you to Crypto Lifer for joining us. I want to let you know, my friend, our studio is your studio. Anytime you're in Vegas, my friend, you don't have to worry about crappy hotel convention place with no internet. You can use our studio as you please.
Oh, and to our community, you're going to be on Around the Blockchain today, right?
Yeah.
Go support Lifer. Go Around the Blockchain in 2 hours. He's going to be streaming here from our studio. So,
yes.
Isn't that great, guys? They're letting me go on an ATB here. Like, I'm literally gonna guys. I'll cry alone in the bathroom later. I won't do it on camera, but I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and because so many things have gone up and down for me in my life, when everything works out the way it's working out today, I feel so blessed and so thankful. So thank you so much.
Hey man, the pleasure is all ours, bro.
Really cool.
You're a good dude.
It feels like I was just supposed to be here. It's like crazy.
You were, man. You were. You know, I believe in whether you're a religious person or not. I believe God's got a plan for all of us, and some things don't make sense at the time, and then eventually they make sense.
This guy. I like this guy.
So
God's got good vibes.
That's kind of my thing, and we're excited to have you. You know, you're a friend for Lifer.
Is it time for the tornado finger?
Not yet.
Have your buddy email my wife, cryptolifers@gmail.
You got it, Broke Yoshi. We'll get
1 month, my friend. Thank you. All right, guys, go support Crypto Lifer's YouTube channel. Also, if you're into TA and trading, there's links on your YouTube channel as far as how to get to your website, and if they want to
go to my Discord, cryptolifer.com. I just bought the .com, and we
there you go.
We got it ready to go. Cryptolifer.com, cryptolifer.com, cryptolifer.com.
That's right. You heard it here. Well, you didn't hear it here.
It's that
first,
simple
but
now.
You heard it here.
Cryptolifer.com.
All right, Rocco, roll the outro. Friends, family, friends of family, and family of friends, we thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Thursday. Huge shout out to Crypto Lifer. Huge shout out to the Lifer community. You guys were loud, you guys were loyal, you guys were excited, and we were excited to have you. Also, shout out to the Sin City community. We love you all. Come back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Las Vegas Pacific Standard Time. Until then, you guys, we love you. We'll see you next time. Peace.
the